everybody, and welcome to the Bikes video. And today, guys, we are going to be doing something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I feel like I've just never really pushed the envelope to make it happen. About a week ago, I hit up my boy Cam. Now, he is the MX Bikes World Champion from 2023. Went to Italy, did the only land event that ever happened. He literally lapped the whole field, won by a mile. He's got an aerial championship. He's currently fighting for the EU 450 outdoor title. A lot of you will probably know who he is. I asked him if he would give me his settings. Okay, now I've asked a decent amount of pro guys over the last year for their settings, and they don't always give them to me. All right, and sometimes I try their settings and I feel like there's no way they actually run them because they're so bad. But not only did Cam give me his settings, he also is going to allow me to show them to you guys in this video. So I need you guys to stay tuned. But basically how I've prepared here is over the last week, I've been using his settings, trying to get used to them because I want to do a little bit of a comparison. We're going to do two races today. We're both going to be at the recent Washougal track, and they're going to be back to back. The first race, I'm going to use my original settings, and then the second race, I'm going to use his settings. I've gotten used to both. I feel like this is the most fair I could really make this video. It's trying to just show you guys what is the true difference. What is different about my settings to his? Did his turn sharper? Does it have more traction? Are they smoother? Am I going to get way faster? Are they literally hacking? We don't know. That's the whole point. And I mean, this is a guy who runs 6 to 7 seconds faster than me a lap when he's trying to run a hot lap, which is insane. I can't even fathom getting that time. But maybe today we're going to learn how, and I know one of the ways he does, spxperformance.com. He does run SPX suspension, the best suspension on MX bikes. If you guys want to cop a setup, links to me in the description. But let's stop yapping. Let's get right into race number 1 on my settings, and then we'll do race number 2 on the MXB World Champion settings. Am I going to get faster? Are they literally hacking? I don't know. Stay tuned. All right, boys, first race here. We're going on just the normal settings I'm using the last 7 months. This video is just going to give like a direct comparison. Obviously, I've spent a lot more time on my settings, so we obviously have to keep that in mind. This isn't like a perfectly fair test. Not that you could ever make it perfectly fair. That's just not possible anyway. I mean, I've given time to his settings as well for the past week. I feel like I'm used to both, and we're just going to kind of see. So we have a pretty full gate here at Washougal, and hopefully we can do both races on this track. If not, I guess that's not the end of the world, but that's kind of what I'm hoping. I haven't had the greatest season this year in the pro ranks. It hasn't been horrible, but it hasn't been very good. Maybe it's the settings. We're going to find out today. The gate is down. My starts are usually very good in pub lobbies. I don't know why. I can never get a whole shot in a pro race, but for some reason in pub lobbies, I am the GOAT at getting good starts. And we're going to get the whole shot here up Horsepower Hill. Now, I don't know if there's anyone super fast in here. I did see a couple pros in here earlier. I'm not sure if they're actually going to join us for the gate drop. This video is not necessarily about like winning the race. It's more about lap times. That's something we're going to look at obviously after the race, but also just about consistency, how we're feeling. I'm going to try to talk to you guys through how my settings feel, and then also how his settings feel as well once I put those on. But I'm going to focus on this first lap here because we do have some pressure from the back. The track's also kind of eroded. Now, I will start off by saying the biggest issue I have with my current settings right now is I tend to go over ruts a lot, okay? I tend to give up in corners, not turn sharp enough, and a lot of that is just me being scared to tuck the front, but that's really been the biggest issue. And I feel like it's made it to where, especially in motocross, I'm not really allowed to be like super aggressive, but it also means I don't tuck the front as much, which means I'm a little bit more consistent. So that's one of the things I'm really looking for his settings to kind of change. I feel like they might. I don't know. I still haven't done a direct comparison myself. I've been kind of switching every other day. His settings, my settings, his settings, my settings. And I've never really just kind of went back-to-back races changing settings. It's been kind of a day-to-day thing. You can see like right there. I feel like that was just my fault, but it just, I don't know. I feel like my bike almost just twitched. Like it just didn't let me turn. The longer that I stay on this game though, I usually stop kind of doing that as much, the longer I'm on a track. But I feel like just the fact that it happens here and there is, I don't know. It's kind of odd. I don't know if it's a settings thing or if it's I mean, probably a skill issue. It's been kind of weird. I feel like it's happened a lot more this summer than it did last summer. But it's definitely a problem I've had since day one in this game. It's just understeering corners. But regardless of that, we are winning. And this is a 7-minute plus 2-lap race. So it's, I guess, decently long. It's probably like 11, 12-minute race. When it's all said and done, a little bit of understeer there. But this Washougal track, a lot of people didn't like it because of how smooth it was. And I will agree, it is pretty smooth. Not to say that Washougal was super rough IRL, I think people are more just kind of pissed that we don't get hard tracks in the Pro Series. Like, this track is not very hard. I'm just going to be honest. It's very fast-paced. It's very wide open. There are a couple technical sections that I think they did really well. One of them is this part right here. These braking bumps before the jump down, and then this S corner here. Very tall braking bumps going in. We got some ruts through here. I feel like that part of the track they did well. Also, this corner I like as well, because I feel like this outside rut's actually not like super easy to rail. It is kind of sketchy. And then you got roughness into this jump, and then everything else, honestly, on this track is just super easy. So far in this race, though, boys, we're actually riding pretty good. I'd say this is kind of just how I normally ride. Nothing too special. Getting a little bit sketch there in that corner. But there's a lot of things that Cam's got different than me. So I'm just, like, super interested to feel that directly back to back. And just kind of see what we like, what we don't like. Maybe I'll just take bits and pieces from his settings. Maybe I'll take all of his settings. I don't know. At this point, why not? You know what I'm saying? I might as well just throw the whole kitchen sink if I want to kind of end this motocross season with a bang. One of the reasons I need to end this motocross season with a bang in the Pro Series is because I'm not in SMX yet. I don't have enough points. And I scored 0 points at Millville. So that was honestly what I think is probably going to be the nail in the coffin for SMX. I think I'm going to be either 1 spot or 2 spots short. But who knows? We're going to just try our best the last 3 rounds. And maybe we'll make it in. I don't know. It was kind of tough because I did EU for Supercross. Those points don't carry over to NA. So if I had my Supercross points, I would easily be in SMX. It wouldn't be a problem. But since I switched regions, don't want to do NA for outdoors, those points don't carry over. But I don't know. It's not a big deal. We're in for the LCQ races at the worst. So we'll at least have a chance to do those rounds. If we even get them. They haven't even announced SMX yet. So last year we got SMX super late. So who knows? With MTG, maybe they just cancel that entirely. But they do have the standings on my MXB. So I'd expect them to not cancel it. We got the gap up to 14 seconds. And as you can see, I'm just riding nice and smooth. I'm not blowing the lap times out of the water. I'm not going super fast, but I'm being a little bit consistent. We do understeer there, though. But you can kind of see, like, the issues that I have just with my normal settings. Cornering is, like, the biggest thing. I mean, I think everyone knows cornering is the most important thing in MX bikes. If you were to practice to get better at this game, you should set your spawn point in testing before a corner that you find hard and just hit it over and over and over again, both sitting and standing. But learning to stand through corners is definitely the meta. Like this corner right here, can't really sit through it. If you do, you're going to drag handlebar and you're going to crash. That's one of those corners you kind of have to stand through. But it's easy to stand through a corner like that because of how, I guess, low the turn radius is on that. It's like a pretty long sweeping corner. It's the tight corners that are tough to stand through. And we're coming up on one right now. This 90-degree right. This is a very tough corner to stand up through, I've found, but you can see right there we got it right. I think mostly for me, it's like overthinking. I've always kind of overthought corners. First lap there, we have a 2:14 flat. So that is definitely, I guess, sort of a normal lap time for me. Now, the track is eroded a little bit, so I'd probably give or take a second from just like a normal smooth track. That's probably going to convert to like a 2:13. But erode just kind of takes a little bit of time out of your lap just because of the chop and stuff like that. But we're riding pretty good. Usually on this track, I usually run between 213 and 215. That's kind of what I usually expect with these settings. It would be kind of funny if I went to Cam settings and just ran like a 210 mid-race or something. You know what I mean? Like just went way faster. It's just like his settings are literally hacking. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? That's the point of this video. We don't know. Maybe it makes no difference. Maybe it's one of those things where I just have to give it more time. That's honestly probably that conclusion that I think I'll probably come to. But maybe I just get on them and I'm just way faster, you know? Who flippin' knows, man? Yeah, I try to stand through that corner. I got a little sussed out, kind of backed out. What you want to do around corners like that is you want to just roll. You want to shift down to about second. Maybe you could do it in third gear and just kind of roll around the corner. You can see I'm going to stand through here. Super easy. Staying through corners is very easy once you get it right. But that's the hard part, is getting it right. Because it's very easy to try to stand through a corner and then just go over the rut, right? That's been something I've been struggling with all year with manual sit now. You know, auto sit last year, I was just sitting through every corner. But with how much grip those previous OEMs had, honestly, it wasn't that bad. You know, we got someone trying to eject Mr. J. Boaz here. I mean, that's kind of insanity. This guy's looking the other way here on the Cowie. As long as I don't get ejected, I just want to finish this race, look at the lap times, and get into race number 2, all right? I always get scared getting in these lobbies. If someone recognizes it's me somehow, like they have one of my skins downloaded or something, they could just get me kicked out, and I don't understand how I just crashed there. But that right there is why the OEM tires piss people off, because what the hell was that? I just did the ballerina. So that lap time's gonna be a bit shocked, but that is what it is. That probably would have been like another 214, maybe like a low 215. That was going to be about the same lap time, I think. Try to go for a bit of a heater here, or like an 80% push lap. We do have some lap traffic, though, so this is not going to be easy to get through. These guys are in their own battles here. Are they going to be nice to me? Oh, wow, this E-Road's really working in here. Shout out to SPX, dude. I don't even really feel the E-Road. I don't even feel it, dude. I'm just working right through it. These bike setups are absolutely insane. And the gap is, even after that crash, still about 16 seconds, which is pretty good. We're going to mess this up. Scrub that a little bit too hard, but we're just going to stand up, slide our way through. So I'm wondering if Cam's settings, if they allow me to corner sharper, which from what I felt last week, they definitely kind of do. I'm not sure on this track specifically. If that's going to increase my corner speed, or is it just going to make it a little bit more sketchy for me? Or am I just going to front tuck every corner? We really don't know. I'm feeling pretty smooth right now, though. I'm going to be honest. This is some of the best I've ridden. Even though I'm not riding super fast, I feel super consistent. And I've yet to hit that sand section good one time. I keep bouncing for some reason. Landing in the wrong spot. Almost missed that rut. I thought I was, but we get it. We should get white flag here, I would expect. This is only a 7-minute race, but I feel like it's went on for absolute years. Yeah, we got yellow flags. I don't want to run over someone. Oh, Troy, come on. Finish the lap, Troy. Finish it. Stand up, stand up, stand up. There we go. All right, this will probably be like a 215 probably. Yeah, it'll be around there. 214, 215. All right, white flag. Last lap, last chance to run a lap. Just moderate pace. We're going to keep it moderate pace on both settings. Trying to make it as fair as possible. I'm pretty consistent around this track right now, so I feel like the test actually is going to be fairly consistent. I feel like this race, though, we did get the lead, and we just kind of gapped everyone. I'm not sure how the second race is going to go. Who knows? We might get taken out in the first corner, which means we're going to have to be battling people, but if anything, that would probably make me faster. I'm definitely a lot faster when I'm racing other people. When I'm out alone, I kind of just posting, you know? There's no real objective other than to just not give the lead away. Oh, that corner felt really good, just sitting around it. Sometimes I just like to sit around corners, bro. The pros tell me not to do it. Cam would say don't sit around corners, but you know what? Sometimes you like to do it, you know? Oh, that guy's not running SPX suspension. You got to get dialed in, my boy. SPXRunWorks.com. Get over there right now. You got to make some money moves, my boy. All right, this lap's actually going pretty good right now. This E-Road's getting gnar, though. I'm going to be honest. The E-Road is getting a bit gnar. That's not going to help the lap time. Got to keep it on 2, though. Still railing that corner, sitting down. Ooh, this guy's cross-jumping. He's getting sketch. Beat him here. Nice. Very, very nice. Grab this. Oh yeah, this lap's feeling nice and juicy, boys. I feel like this might be a 213 maybe. Lappers, get out of the way. Guys gonna get out of the way. W mans. Oh, I'm so sketch. I'm so sketch. Come on, Daniel. W Daniel, bro. I always love Daniel. That's the thing about Daniel is I always love Daniel. Oh, it was not faster. Okay, we're gonna look at the lap times. That actually felt like a good lap. I don't know why that was slower. We didn't even have the fastest lap of the race. We actually had the second fastest time. This dude ran a 212, which is pretty damn good lap considering that E-Road. We're gonna look at me though, and look at that. Consistent 214s, okay? That's the pace. This lap, we had the crash, that would have been a 214, maybe even a 213. That's kind of the pace we're on normally. So now we're gonna get on Cam setup, and we're just gonna see what we can do, boys. Okay, we have no idea what's gonna happen. I'm pretty used to his settings though. I think we can do pretty decent. Let's get into race number 2. All right, boys, now we're on the MX Bikes World Champions settings. I've been testing them all week, been trying to get used to them. I've not tested them on this track, so this will be new for me. There's a couple hours between my last race and this one, so I did get some warm-up time on it. It's not like I just switched straight over. So I feel like I'm used to them, and we're going to kind of get, I guess, somewhat of a fair test. We're going to see. I think for me, the main thing is speed. Consistency, I'm not going to worry about too much, just because, again, not a ton of time on these settings. But I really just want to see what my speed is. My casual public lobby speed. 2:14 was kind of the average time there in that first race. I guess we're going to see what the speed is on these settings here. And it looks like we might get back-to-back hole shots today, and we're going to get punted. I had the hole shot, but fortunately, when you're in the lead, you can't really defend yourself from stuff like that. But it's okay. We'll get to race a little bit here. I don't think there's anyone super fast in here. There wasn't really anyone super fast in that first race. But it's not really the point of the video here. I just want to get clear of these guys so I can run some laps. But I feel like I can't really do a true test if I'm not in a race environment. Even if I'm not, like, directly battling guys. We should get around these guys pretty easily. Just gotta avoid them crashing in front of us. Just like that. Oh, wow. Crashed on both sides of me there. But we're into P3. We got 2 more heads to get around. And then we're going to see what type of laps we're running. Now, you're going to notice instantly that my gameplay is going to look different. Now, that's because there's 2 camera setting changes that he has that I don't. So, my original settings, I run 15 tilt. He runs 0 tilt. And then he also runs 35 pitch. I run 50 pitch. So, I'm not going to explain those too much in depth. Tilt is basically the camera kind of leans over when you turn in corners. If you have 0 tilt, it just doesn't lean over. It stays straight up and down. Most people run that. Not a lot of people run tilt, and if they do, they run a tiny percentage. So I ran 15%, which is kind of a decent amount, and honestly, when I turn it off, it honestly feels better with 0 tilt. Like, I'm noticing that instantly. Just by cornering, I just feel like I'm more aware of where I'm at and how far I'm leaning over. So that actually might be a setting I definitely keep at 0. Pitch, I don't really see the difference too much, but apparently the pitch is lower, which means I'm looking forward a little bit more instead of down at my bike. So those are kind of the big camera changes that you're just going to notice from the gameplay. This guy is going quite slow, but he's trying. He's trying his best. You know what I'm saying? I can't hate on him. Bit of an over jump there from him. He's probably going to crash right here. Oh, no. He's not riding too bad, actually. He's not pushing it. You know, he's not kind of like sitting on the limit or anything. He's just kind of riding his pace, which I have to respect. But I got to get around him because he is holding me up a little bit here. Let's see if we can cut down here. Oh, yeah. Try to stay lower. Yeah, we're going to get him here. I don't know if he's going to cross jump me or not. Oh, he's going to take the line there. Side by side, boys. What an absolute battle. But we're going to have to gap you. I'm sorry, sir. It was a good battle while it lasted. You can follow me, though. I'm down. I'm down to see if you can hang. He's going to have to ride way over his head, I think, to keep up. Maybe he's got it like that. Who knows? I can't hate on him too much. There's times I get into pub lobbies and a guy just absolutely just nukes me. Anyway, back to the settings. I feel a lot better in corners, and by that I mean I'm turning a lot sharper. I have not went over a single corner yet, and I don't think I will in this race. I do think the only scare I have, though, is I might front tuck, because the bike is turning a lot sharper. It's a lot more sensitive than my settings. That's how I'd explain it to you. I feel like my settings are more built for a consistent, like, pace, but these are more for, like, hot lapping and, like, going as fast as you can, which doesn't surprise me that Cam runs settings like that. But then, again, I say that, and then I go over that rut. I just think that corner is in my head, and I think I tried to sit through it that time, which is not what I should be doing. I should be standing, but this is the first timed lap we're going to do right here. And 2:14 is what we're running on the other setting, so we're going to kind of get to see a direct speed difference here. So far, I feel like I'm going to be a little bit quicker on these settings, but I think the main thing is, am I even going to get a clean lap? That's what I'm kind of worried about, you know? Because they are so new, but they're so sensitive, you know what I mean? Like, even with myself being used to them, it just feels like, I just feel like I'm going to crash. Like, they're making me faster, but I'm low-key kind of nervy in these corners. Oh, I felt good in that corner, though. Didn't break traction either. That's another thing with like lean angle and stuff on these bikes. You want to find the exact point where you're not breaking the tire traction in the rear. Hard to do though. But once you break the traction, you're going fast, you're basically just toast at that point. You're not really going to save it. Gotta be careful. Oh, I felt really good around that corner. Keep it moving. There's a lot of other settings too. It's really not just the turning and leaning settings that are changed. Brakes are different. I don't run combined brakes, though Cam does. I'm trying to get used to that as well. He's got a little bit less stopping power in his brakes, which I kind of like, to be honest. Not that I really use brakes ever, to be honest. I rarely get on the brakes. I think that's most pros in this game. We're kind of just carrying roll speed all the time. This lap feels pretty good so far. Nothing that's blistering, but we have the hardest parts of the track coming up here, so we gotta keep our head on a little bit of a swivel here. I'm trying to take the same lines as well from the first race to this one. Oh yeah, I felt the brakes there. Actually felt really good. Didn't put too much pressure on the front. A little bit sketchy there. I was probably in just too high of a gear though. Can we stand through this corner? Oh my god. Dude, that you don't understand how much time that's gonna save. 2:11.5 first lap. Are you kidding me? Dude, see, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's literally like cornering, dude. Just that one corner probably saved me a second and a half. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not a second and a half, maybe like a second. But I feel like the only reason I could stand through that corner so like effectively is because of the more aggressive lean settings. So maybe for me, I was just on settings that made these bikes easier, but I feel like I've been on these bikes for 7 months. Maybe I've kind of leveled up to settings that are gonna be a little bit more difficult to handle, but can give me a faster pace and help me turn sharper. So maybe this is what I gotta be on, boys. Maybe this is the move. We're still not done though. We gotta finish this race. It could have just been a fluke lap. Maybe that one corner there was just luck. I mean, it's possible. But I feel really smooth right now. I feel very aggressive. Now, I feel like when E-Road hits on these settings, I'm probably going to be a lot worse. That's what I would predict. And right there, the problem I thought I was going to run into, tucking the front. So that's like the only issue. But I can unequivocally say these settings will make me faster than my old ones, 100%. But the problem is just consistency. I feel like I'm probably skilled enough to make them consistent. I just got to put the time in. But it's crazy, the first time lap we did was like, what, 2.5 seconds faster? You know, a 2:11 is a pretty good time, and it wasn't like I was pushing full pace there. So that's actually pretty wild, man. These top pro guys, they change their settings a lot. I don't. I feel like that's something that kind of holds me back. But there's also some top pro guys that also just never change their settings. But I feel like Cam, he's always in a Discord asking someone for something. Settings, changing this, changing that. I think he runs different settings for Supercross as well. I just don't even touch mine. I'm like all of you guys probably. We just don't touch our settings. We're just like, yeah, set them, forget them, and get used to them. I'm sitting around that corner again, which I need to not do. Doesn't matter. This lap was slow as hell anyway, because we did crash. Let's run another lap here. E-Road's starting to come in as well, so we get to test it a little bit in the E-Road. Not that this track gets much different in E-Road anyway, but like even these corners here, I just feel like I'm flying. I feel like I'm absolutely flying, brother. I just feel like I can lean over so much more when standing. It just makes turning while standing way easier. But it also makes it a little bit sketchy, okay? It makes it a little bit sketch. That was kind of bad. Get speed, get speed. All right, this lap so far is not too bad. I feel really good there. This corner, I don't think I'd be able to stand around until it gets like super eroded. Like I kind of have to sit around that. There's really no banking. But we got the gap up to 30 seconds even after that crash. I think we had it almost to 40 seconds. The crash definitely took some time away, but so far, boys, I mean, are these settings better? I think they might be. I think we might have found something. Can I survive this corner this time? Yes, I can. Just got to be cautious. Turn a little bit too sharp there. I had to kind of avoid the dark fin, but imagine when I get used to these settings. I feel like I'm already kind of used to them, but not as much as my original settings. Oh, might get cuts now on this lap. So this lap might not count. We'll still be able to see it in the analysis. It'll just be grayed out. but I did go off the track there. So there is definitely a lot more inconsistencies that I'm having. But that is expected. But I'm just surprised at, like, how I'm not even riding that bad. Like, I'm inconsistent, but it's not like I'm crashing a lot. I'm just kind of sketchy. I'm having a really hard time with that first corner there for some reason. I keep understeering that, which is odd. I wouldn't expect that. Oh, a little oversteer there. Yeah, I'm getting a little willy-nilly now. And I got a little bit scared there. I don't think that lap was a fluke. I don't know, though. We got one more lap. Let's just put down something smooth. Oh, I oversteered there big time. And we got lap traffic. The guy's gonna move out of the way. This guy going to? He doesn't look like he is. He looks like he's gonna fall right in the middle of the rut. Well, we don't even get a chance at running a last lap, but I think that 211 says enough, all right? Maybe I'm not the most consistent on these settings. Maybe these settings are a lot harder to master, but I think what we can confirm today is that these settings are faster than mine, and they're probably faster than yours. And what I mean by that is you can turn sharper, you can get way more aggressive in corners, because at the end of the day, if you can turn sharper, that means you can go faster through corners, right? Because it's, you know, speed, turn angle, that is all related. There's probably a formula to calculate it. I'm not that smart. But I feel like my settings were more meant for avoiding the front tuck, trying to stay more consistent, especially in E-road. And that does limit your speed on a track that's, I guess, more flat and not as, you know, bumpy, like this track. Now, if there was like deep ruts and deep E-road, I don't know if I would really want these settings, but especially with how the outdoor tracks are right now, I mean, I feel like you might as well run settings like this that are super aggressive. I mean, all the tracks are so smooth, it's like, you might as well do it. So, we're gonna finish this lap. This lap still could be quicker than a 214, even with running into that guy. We'll see. I feel like I'm kind of flying. My scrubs also, I feel like are a little bit better as well. Come on, stay down. Go to this. All right, finish the race. We actually made a lot of people rage quit, and we gapped the whole field by over 1 minute and 20 seconds. I mean, that's definitely better than the first race, that's for sure. We had the fastest lap, obviously, 2:11.5. And now as we look at the analysis, you can see we had the 2:11.5 in that first time lap, and we actually had a 2:11.6 even with going off the track, okay? So this lap, if we stayed on the track, probably would have been maybe in the 2:10s, probably low 2:11s. This lap, we crashed, and then this lap, obviously, guy came in front of us there in the rut. It is what it is. Now, I'm gonna show you guys both settings. So we're gonna start with my old settings, and then I'm gonna show you Cam's. Honestly, the conclusion of this video is, I guess, really what you just saw. I think my settings are more for consistency. At least that's how I feel about them. I think cornering is the worst aspect of my original settings. And I think going over ruts, understeering, that's the big downfall. But I think you can be very consistent with those settings. Cam settings, you can be a lot quicker, but they're a lot more finicky. They're a lot more snappy. If you're a newer player, I think you'd probably struggle with these. But I want you guys to test them for yourselves. And shout out to Cam for allowing me to show these to you guys. A lot of pro guys don't do that. So shout out to him. His channel's gonna be in the description. You guys want to sub to him. He does post YouTube videos as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.